is no aesthetic to this video, okay? I just have something to get off my chest. God is literally paving your path. He is hand paving your path and putting every rock and every stone exactly where it needs to be in order to lead you in the right direction. But you know what? You're too busy looking over other people's fences to see what they got going on, and that's what's blocking your blessings. In other words, if you're a beginner lash artist or you are somebody who is new to the beauty industry, you might realize that it's a bit like high school. You're gonna have the mean girls, because there's definitely mean girls in this beauty industry, and you're gonna have the very few select people who are actually rooting for you and who's actually a girl's girl and wants everybody else to win, which I'm one of them if you didn't know. But I just felt like that had to be said because I see way too many, and I'm guilty of this, I see way too many people trying to compare their journey to everybody else's, and then they start to feel bad. That's when you start to lack confidence. That's when sales start lacking. That's when you're struggling bringing in clients because you're trying so hard to follow somebody else's journey. But babe, that's not your path. I'm gonna tell you guys a story on how lashes literally changed my life, and I'm doing this because I'm hoping that it inspires somebody. So after I got my credentials and I started officially lashing and taking clients in 2020, I was lashing from my 2-bedroom apartment. A lot of people think that they have to go to a salon in order to build a consistent clientele, and that is not true at all. You do not have to be in the most popular or the most prettiest salon space. I was literally in the gutter. Like, I was in the ghetto. I was on the side of town that people tried to avoid at night because best believe by 10 p.m. you are going to most likely hear sirens, you might hear a few gunshots, and there will be a crackhead at the corner. Even though I wasn't in a salon, I was still giving them a salon experience. I've had clients tell me that they've been to girls in the salons, but their service was nothing like the service that I was providing. I made sure that my clients were safe, I made sure that they were taken care of, and I made sure that their needs were prioritized. Fast forward a little bit, after I had moved out of the apartment, me and my man moved into my dad's house. Thank God he did not make me pay any rent. But at the time that I was moving into my dad's house, I was in such like a bad mental space. Like, my headspace just was not good at all. So that started to affect me physically. I was only able to take maybe like 2 to 3 clients a week because I did not have the mental capacity to sit up on social media and promote myself. So nobody really knew who I was at that point. I was only taking the girls that I have already been taking from my apartments. And when new clients would hit me up, sometimes I wouldn't even reply, or I would tell them that I'm not taking new clients because, again, I just did not have the mental capacity. So of course, with me not lashing as much and that being my only source of income, guess what? I started to go literally broke. I had a negative bank account balance. I had credit card fees that were late. I had my car payment that was late. Me and my man could barely afford to eat. Like, we were going to Wendy's and eating 4 for $4s because that's all we could afford at the time. At this point, I was kind of giving up. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, you know what? I don't think lashing is for me, or at least I have to revisit it because right now it's just not working out. I don't have the mental capacity to sit here and take clients and promote. So me and my man were looking for jobs because, again, we were broke. We tried so hard to look for jobs, couldn't find anything. Nobody was calling us back. We put in applications every single day. Finally, we both landed a security job at the same place, which was perfect. Even though we did have to travel like an hour and a half away to work, it was fine because we were gonna be able to carpool and we were gonna be able to save gas and help each other out. And obviously we would do anything at that time to bring in some type of income. So the day that it's time to go to orientation, guess what? At this point, I thought the road was against me because as soon as we hop on the freeway, our car breaks down. Our only source of transportation. Once the car breaks down, I immediately start crying because I'm like, I don't have no more in me. I literally have nothing left in me. I have no more energy to fight. Like, I'm tired of this. I'm done. Like, the road is just against me. I don't know what I did, but the road is against me. So me and my man are without a car for, I want to say like 2 to 3 months. He's like, you know what? Let's just see if we can get a car with no money down. I'm like, babe, be so for it. Like, we're young. We don't have any proof of income. my credit is not the best, your credit is decent, they're not gonna give us a car with no money down. He finally convinced me because he's like, there's no harm in trying. And we literally hit up so many dealerships and they're like, at least 1,000, at least 1,000. Can you come in to negotiate? At least 1,000, da 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 da. So we're like, okay, this isn't gonna work. Finally, the Honda dealership calls us back and they're like, you know what? You're approved. Come sign your papers, get the car, it's yours. And we look at each other and I'm like, no way. Like, there has to be a catch. No way. So I'm sitting there, I'm praying, I'm like, thank God, thank God, thank God, because the car is literally what we needed to get back on our feet, even though we did not know how we were going to pay that first car note. So we get there, we pick up the car, we're happy. A few more months go by and we're still not in the best position, but at this time I kind of had started selling the online lash course. I believe I had dropped my tweezers by this time. So like, I had my tweezer line going and I had the online lash course. I was bringing in a little bit more income than what I was. So I was able to kind of pay off my debt, and I barely had any money left to put aside, but anything that I could, even if it was $5, I put it into a separate bank account. But this is where more bad news comes. This is where, again, I feel like the world was against me, because every step that I took forward, it knocked me 10 steps back. I told you guys we were living with my dad. I come home and my dad's like, hey princess, like, I have to talk to you. And I'm like, okay, what's up? And he's telling me like, okay, well, the owner of the house is selling, so we literally have 30 days to get out of here. And I'm like, what? Like 30 days? And he's like, yeah, 30 days. And I knew it was serious because my dad always has a solution. And I'm like, okay, so what's your plan? And when I ask him that, usually he's like, oh, I'm gonna do this, this, and that. But this time he was like, we're just gonna have to figure it out. And I was like, okay. So that put a lot of weight on my shoulders, because at this time we had like 5 dogs and I was not getting rid of my dogs. What the problem was, my dad had the money but he didn't have the credit, and we had the credit but we didn't have the money. So we started applying for houses in me and my boyfriend's name, and my dad was going to obviously put down the deposit and things like that. He was going to handle all the financial, we were going to handle getting approved. So we're going through houses, going through houses, going through houses. Either we're not getting approved or we're just not hearing back from them at all. So finally we get to this one house. It's nicer than what we thought we could be in. This is important because never limit yourself, okay? Never ever limit yourself, because we're like, nah, they're not gonna approve us for this house. Like, this is way too nice. How are they gonna approve us? Da da da. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just apply anyway. We applied to the house, and I kid you not, 3 days later we get a call and he's like, hey, are you guys still interested in the house? And I'm like, yes, like, of course. So he was like, okay, you guys can come see it. And when we went to go view the house, he let us know like, yeah, for some odd reason, this is a really nice house, but you know, nobody's applying. You guys were the first and only applicants. And I'm like, would you look at that? And that house was on the market for 2 months. 2 months that house was on the market for rent, and nobody applied for it, and we were the first ones and the only ones. Again, by the grace of God. We got approved. We were finally able to move in. And you guys, we didn't even have like money for furniture or anything. Like, my dad had his furniture and stuff, but me and my man, we didn't have shit. We put our mattress into an empty room and we laid on the mattress and we let out a big deep sigh, like a breath of fresh air, because all we could think of was, we're not gonna go homeless. So as we're laying there and we're just like, we're literally just naming like everything that we're thankful for. Like, thank you for getting us approved for the car. Thank you for the house. Thank you for putting food on the table. Thank you for allowing us to have a little bit of extra money to pay off our credit card debt. Like, we're just naming everything we're thankful for, and we're just talking. Me and my man are just having a really deep conversation, and I'm like, we cannot keep going through this. Like, that was too close of a call. Something has to change. So he started doing his own thing. He started going harder with trading, and he started getting approved with different prop firms. If you guys don't know what trading is, he does like day trading and he trades Forex and all that other stuff. So things started going really good for him, and I'm still like, I'm stuck. Like, okay, what do I do? So I moved to a new part of my city. In this part of town, it was a little bit more populated. It was more familiar with people who were getting services. Like, people travel to this part of town to get a lot of services. So I'm like, okay, I need to start marketing, da da da. So I get on my stuff and I start marketing for clients, and every client that came in, not only not only did I start getting new clients, but every time I got a client, I would go live on TikTok to promote my lash course and my tweezers. Every single day, I did not miss a beat. And then finally, I started promoting my adhesive, and my account on TikTok just started growing and growing and growing, and I built this huge community. If you guys don't follow me on TikTok, I know some of you guys probably don't, or most of you guys probably don't, because my channel is new, so you guys probably haven't seen me on TikTok yet, but I have a community of like 90, I want to say I'm at like 96K right now, or 90K, or I'm in like the mid 90s, I believe. So I grew my community on TikTok. Once people started to recognize my brand, which was like the best feeling ever, after putting in so much work, I started to get order after order, but then it kind of slowed down a little bit. It kind of plateaued because I stopped posting for a little bit. Now I didn't know how to juggle being so present in the online world and still taking clients, because for one, it did take me longer when I was on live with my clients, because I would answer questions and stuff. So I didn't want to do that with every client. Honestly, at this point, I was just trying to get my clients in and out, in and out, in and out. I was just trying to flip them like pancakes so I could book as many clients as I could, which I was grateful for. So at this point, I'm still paying off like credit card debt. I was deep in credit card debt, okay? Like, I made some bad decisions, and don't ever do that. Never play with your credit, because I am still paying for it and cleaning up some of the mess that I made years ago. But yeah, so I'm still paying off credit card debt, paying things down. And then it gets to a point where I'm like, okay, I think I'm ready to add lash trays to my website. So I do that. I think I had like $1,200 in my bank account, and I spent 1,000 of it on lash trays. I think I spent like 1,100 of it on lash trays. So I literally only had like $75 to $100 left after everything. And I remember I looked at my man, and he looked at me, and I was like, we're gonna have to make it work. Like, we're gonna have to flip these lash trays. I don't know how. I'm gonna use the community that I grew on TikTok. Hopefully they fuck with me. Like, yeah. And mind you, I'm new to selling. I don't know anything about running a Shopify store or anything like that. Like, so I'm still learning as I grow. And the lash trays finally came, and I'm promoting them. When people come on live, they ask about them. I was like, maybe 1 tray here, 2 trays there, 3 trays over there. But I was like, okay, this is not going how I needed it to go. It's still slow. Business is still kind of slow as far as getting orders. I'm still like, okay, something needs to flip. Like, what am I gonna do? I don't want to just have these lash trays sitting here for nothing. I literally felt like a failure, because I was watching other brands sell all their products and their lash trays, and I'm like, how is she selling out and I'm not? Like, and that's what was holding me back, because once I started to focus on myself, and I started to focus on my path, and I started to realize, like, okay, I'm not on her journey. I'm on my own journey. I'm on my own path. My success, my pot of success is going to look different from hers. So let me start celebrating the small wins. So I started appreciating every single order that I got. Even if I got like 2 orders that week, I would pray about it. I would thank God about it. And I would journal it. Like, oh, I'm so glad I got this amount of orders this week, even though it was small. We're on to bigger things, da da da. So once I started doing that, and I started to kind of change my mindset around things, I made one video. We were literally driving, and I told my boyfriend, I was like, ooh, babe, I should make a video like this. So I made that video, and I kid you not, that video still gets views, and it still goes viral sometimes. Like, out of nowhere, it'll get like another 10K likes or another 5K likes. But I made this video, it went viral, and then all of a sudden, you guys, it was just ding, 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 order after order after order, and I cannot believe my eyes. I remember when I got like my first $700 order, and it was one of my girls who just ordered a bunch of lash trays, and I'm like, oh my God. At this point, I didn't know what to do. I'm like, okay, like, I kind of froze, because I'm like, whoa, like, I was not ready for that. But that's the thing. When you're on your own path and you're on your own journey and you're trying to do what works for you, you cannot let people get in your way of you. You need to have tunnel vision. Like, you need to focus on what's good for you. You need to be thankful of every single blessing that comes your way. I don't care if it's small. If you book 1 new client that week, you need to celebrate. Even if you book no clients that week, but you have returning clients for fills, you need to celebrate, because they don't have to return to you. They can go find another lash artist. I literally went from being like dead broke and barely able to survive to making like 50, 60K a month within a matter of, let me see, like September is when the car broke down. September, October, November, December, January, February, within 5 months. 5 months, and 5 months didn't seem like long, because it was September that everything had kind of went like really downhill. Car broke down, we were getting kicked out, and we had to find somewhere to live. Within 5 months, my life turned around. Imagine if I never picked up those tweezers though. Imagine if I did quit. Imagine if I was like, you know what, F this, the world is against me, I don't want to do lashes anymore. Imagine that. I honestly don't know where I would be. I would probably be working a 9 to 5 right now. I honestly probably would not have my daughter. I wouldn't be in this nice 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom house. Like, I wouldn't have a reliable car. There's a lot of things that I probably wouldn't have if I stopped lashing, or if I allowed myself to quit because I was comparing myself to other people's journey. Like, I'm so thankful for everything that I have, literally everything. Like, I live such a soft life, you guys, and I thank God for it every day, because yes, I put in the work, but it was him who instilled the vision in me, and it was him who kept me planted on my 2 feet to continue to get back up and keep going. I can finally enjoy the fruits of my labor. I have my bills on auto pay. I don't have to worry about where my next meal is gonna come from. If me and my man want to go out on a nice date, we can afford it. If we need new clothes, we can afford it. If I want my nails and hair done, I can afford it. Like, I keep my nails done every 2 weeks, and that right there is a blessing. I'm always in such a good headspace. Even after I had my daughter, you guys, she's 7 months old, and after I had her, I was so scared of going into postpartum depression, but guess what? It just skipped over me. It flew right over my head. You want to know why? Because for one, I prayed every single day. But for two, the reason why postpartum depression comes down on a lot of moms is because these moms, like, they don't know what the heck to do. Now they have this baby to care for, and there's only one income coming in from their husband if they're stay-at-home moms, or maybe there's 2 incomes coming in, but now they have to stress about who's gonna watch the baby when they have to go to work, and they have to stress about not being able to spend that quality time with their baby for those first few months. Because let's be honest, in the United States, freaking maternity leave, it freaking sucks. Like, I think we only get, I don't even know how long we get. I think it's like 3, maybe 6 months, if that. I don't even think it's 6 months. It just depends on your job, I believe. But yeah, like, I'm able to stay home with my daughter, me and my man. We are both able to be active parents in my daughter's life, and that right there, that's enough for me. You could take away everything else that I have, but as long as I am able to be active, and we are both able to be active parents in my daughter's life, especially in these young years, like, that means the world to me. So owning my business, yes, I do appreciate the cash flow. Okay, it's nice to be financially free. It's nice to not have to worry about paying for anything, or checking my bank account frantically after I pay for something, or having to buy something to return it because I need the money back. It's nice because I came from that. That was my old life. But the life that I stepped into, the path that God paved for me and that I walked, it was a long journey, but I walked it, and I kept faith and I kept sight. Just the success, but the freedom, you guys, the freedom is worth so much more than anything else. If you are watching this, please take this video as inspiration. I felt like I just needed to get this off my chest. I'm getting like really emotional. I've been emotional. I was kind of emotional even like thinking about this video idea, because it was just so heavy on my heart. Like, I have to talk about this. I have to talk about this because there's so many girls, not just girls but guys as well, who enter the beauty industry and they feel so much pressure that they just quit. And I hate that for you, because I wish that there was more safe spaces for beauty entrepreneurs to turn to. But please know that if you are an entrepreneur, or anybody. I am anybody's safe space. Like, you can literally come in my DMs and rant, and I will probably rant right along with you. I am definitely one of those girls who will give you like words of encouragement. I will keep pushing you as much as you need me to, because I'm just that type of person. I know what it feels like to skip meals because I don't have the money that day. I know what it feels like to literally sleep in my car. And mind you, I hid this so well. If people were to look at me on social media, they would have never thought. Take my story. The next time that you're comparing yourself to somebody else, please know that you probably don't know what's going on in their lives, because I was posting like everything was okay. Even when I wasn't taking clients, I was finding like old pictures and old content pieces that I made and posting it just to kind of keep my page active. So yeah, never compare yourself to anybody, because everybody is on their own journey. They're on their own path. I wish you so much success in 2025. I do just want to say like a huge thank you to all of my subscribers. I think I have like 70 subscribers right now, 71. And it might not seem like a lot to you guys, but it is definitely a lot to me. Thank you guys for joining my community, and I hope to make so many more videos like this for you guys. I hope this video inspired you, and I hope it motivates you to just keep fucking going. Just literally keep going, because there's always a rainbow at the end. But I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and of course subscribe if you haven't already.